Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. So Twitch is going. Rumble is going. YouTube is going. Everything's going on. Give me a moment to turn on the live chat windows and my macros. That's all online. Macros online. Looks like everything's online. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything is online. Put up my drink here. And let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Well, on the north side is the Purple Lightning Eagle, we got Maus. Bottom right side is a Blue Moon Olaf, we got Candor. This map is a 3-base map, one airport, one seaport, probably meant for resupply since there's immediately into a shore there. Sure, you can go for a battleship on top of the seaport, that's probably not advisable. And we do have an early recon out by Eagle, and an early recon by Olaf. Different bases though. And wait, Eagle looks like went for a double recon and 2 base skips. Looks like does commit base skip. So Eagle's going to be hyper aggressive. Let's see if this will pay off. A little bit too early to get out of the tank unless you want to commit base skip as well for Olaf. Recon mech and infantry. He is now 9,000 income, so does Eagle. So that means they can now afford a tank every single turn if they so choose. We have double recon down south by Olaf, while Eagle's gone for double recon up north. Which he did see that infantry back off of the forest, but tanking spawn not really necessary. He got 2 prime targets in front of him to interrupt. Like that one. And that one. Oh, did take a point of damage in return. Eagle, of course, does improve his capabilities for aircraft, but his ground is completely and utterly ordinary. And same thing with Olaf as well. His ground vehicles, as well as air units and sea units, are completely and utterly ordinary. They can just weather a storm a little bit better. We got another mech here in a good position to hit the recon, though he does have vision of the mech, so he knows he can keep his distance. He is generally aware there is also infantry in this forest there, so you could take time to pick that off if he so chooses. And he decides to pick off that infantry unit as he chooses. Does take a bit more points of damage there to put it down to 9 health. It was pretty close to around 91% health. Now an early anti-air deploy out by Eagle, and Olaf is deploying out tanks both directions. These 2 recons here can cause some issues. He does spot this tank here, but decides to interrupt this capture. Infantry nearby. And there is a property now being flipped. He could interrupt it with the infantry unit. He does interrupt it with the infantry unit. Moves forward 2 infantry units there. Takes the tank, puts around that recon there, barely survives. Excuse me. Actually went down the wrong throat. Olaf did get the first strike onto this tank there, which is very nice. Though this tank is in range, though can't take it from the superior fighting position. We have to take it in open plains. He could take this 5 health tank, soften up that tank a little bit. Probably not. Let's pick off the infantry there. The 2 infantry unit is going to be a basic blocker there. Puts the 5 health tank on top of the city there. Tank infantry. And number captured there. First comm tower finally captured. Usually gets captured usually a long by time. But does not. I cannot speak for now. Would have been captured a long time ago. That's usually pretty common. Gets captured early, but both players did interrupt each other's comm tower. Got both a tank and mech up here. Only recons up north by Eagle. So could go for a battle copter. Capture this comm tower this time as well, and I see nothing interrupt it. Puts the 7 health tank inside the forest, put the 9 health tank inside the forest, and probably won't be spotted based on the positioning I see. Anti-air heading down south. Eagle has gone for 2 anti-airs, Olaf has gone for his first one. No player's gone for any battle copter just yet, just a T-copter. And we've got now the Black Bolt pushing forward some more infantry in there. Olaf has a good core of infantry over here. Eagle, in return, has a good number of tanks, anti-air over here. Artillery, battlecopter, infantry. 20,000 income versus 17,000 income. There's still a number of despicable neutral properties on the map, like this city there, and this one still got interrupted. It looks like he also managed to get great capture control, has captured both these cities here, while the only one and neutral in comparison. Finish off the unit there. Blizzard's now available. Tank infantry. T-copter moving around, does get a slight boost there. Battlecopter heading north, hits the infantry unit there. And that one as well. Recon does not finish off. He has a lot of low health recons there, which they can still do the job, and, well, recon. Tank does take out recon there. Finish off the unit there, starting to capture the 8 health infantry unit there. The lightning drive's now available. Not useful whatsoever. It increases his air combat capabilities to +20, which is really not worth 3 stars. In fact, it's probably only even worth just 1 star. Yeah, if I would have balanced Eagle, either A, give him a dual strike version of his power, or make his power cost 1 star and make sure the superpower still retains, what, is this 8 or 9 stars? It's 9 stars in total. Does pick off some outlying units there, starting to capture the city. Does take out that 1 health infantry unit there. Tank hits tank. Tank does not hit tank. Mech finish off the infantry unit there and does hit that infantry unit. He drops the capture up here, but does sack the unit for it. Battlecopter push it forward. Do now have a Neo tank on field. Olaf or Eagle went for triple tank last turn, has 20,000 income, so he saves a bit of money, can go start over Neo tanks, but at this point in time he likely won't be able to go for one this turn. Goes for a battlecopter. Anti-air infantry. Hits that infantry twice. Hits that infantry. Infantry, recon, and battlecopter. Double recon's probably a good idea to help escort the Neo tank. Get us some good spotting. Anti-air taking time, does pick off that regular tank there. Battlecopter, artillery, recon, and infantry. Olaf's gonna pull back up north. And boost a couple more infantry units forward. Recon and infantry push way forward. Neo tank will start advancing way forward as well. Artillery was in range, besides not to take it out with the artillery. 1 health recon push towards this forest. Neo tank advances to the forest as well, very good. Tank mech. And serve 137,000, Eagle starts to 136, so pretty even. Eagle has 22,000 stored on up. Interrupts that capture, but in range the artillery. Artillery has not been spotted. Artillery has been spotted. Hits the recon there. Hits that tank there. Doesn't. Okay, that was the Winter Fury. So Winter Fury is now available. Lightning Strike's still pretty far away. Oops. And Winter Fury is going to cause a lot of pain for Eagle. His double strike, double turn can be very nice. However, it's a really good idea to have him do that not in a blizzard due to the reduced movement. But here comes the Winter Fury. Here comes the Winter Fury. Here comes the Winter Fury. Third time's the charm, right? It's a tank there. Battlecopter gets a good strike as well. It's trying to flip the city. Finish off the infantry unit there. Finish off that infantry unit there. Does not go for the capture. Hits tank. Neo tank hits tank. Artillery hits tank. Lightning strike's now available, but he's losing everything in the southern flank. He has a battlecopter and a pair of infantry. Eagle has lost everything down south. He does have an excellent core of tanks here, as well as good anti-air support. Does finish off that, what was that, 2 health tank there? Eagle can go with lightning strike, but it's probably a good idea to hold off until next turn. There's not many targets in front of him, which reduces the need for the lightning strike. Battlecopter's creeping the way forward, not likely to travel very far in the blizzard. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Olaf's turn, he has 123 starting, equal to his turn of 113, so Olaf has about a turn and a half ahead of his opponent. He also has quite a bit of extra tech advantage with the Neo tank and the medium tank. His opponent has, Eagle has a good number of battlecopters. 4 on the field. Gonna flip multiple properties down south, and looks like he will secure them. With the anti in the region, he will have to be hyper-aggressive battlecopters, would not be aggressive whatsoever. He could sass the infantry unit on top of the mountain to get some good spotting, but it won't be perfect spotting. Hard to say what Eagle should do. There's actually argument probably to make so hold on as a lightning strike for this turn as well. Oh, gets trapped there. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to hold on this lightning strike. I see no real value in it this turn. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Black boat is next to the battlecopter. Sort of capture up the comm tower. Eagle is a bit far away from doing the same thing because he has 2 infantry in the region, but nowhere near that said comm tower. Did strike this battlecopter here. Hits the black boat. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Medium tank and Neo tank heading up north. Does strike the battlecopter. This looks like a lightning strike turn. It's pushing forward this hard with the battlecopters. He drops the capture there. Tank hits tank. There's a lightning strike. Goes for tank, battlecopter, infantry, though I think the infantry just hadn't moved yet. Hits infantry, hits tank. Battlecopter hits tank. Finishes off. Hits squad capturing. Hits tank there. Tank hits anti-air. The anti-air is effectively knocked out. If he's able to fully take it out, that would give him a lot less pain to worry about. And there you go. Now he has completely regained the southern part of the map. The medium tank and Neo tank are simply just not over there anymore. He has full control over both flanks. It is quite massive, to say the least. Insert of 142,000. Olaf starts of 106. He's also could get the Winter Fury this turn. I mean, tank could strike the artillery and the regular tank. Recon reconnoiter the area. Tank hits anti-air. Infantry hit anti-air. Battlecopter strike tank. Tank strikes tank. Medium tank strikes artillery. Winter Fury is another 3,000 funds. Winter Fury is another 325 funds. Winter Fury is now 88,200 funds. I think he just waited this infantry unit there. That would definitely soften up Eagle. He has a lot of units. And that generally calls at least 20%. Answer of 126, Eagle's turn of 96. He's going to be slow moving. Battlecopter is going to help clean up this area. Tanks could just start trying to find other targets. Maybe start setting some ambush inside these woods. But it's definitely going to be a not eventful turn for Eagle at the moment. He is going to be losing this flank pretty soon. He has nothing stopping medium tank nor neo tank. Battlecopters may need to start migrating towards up here. Goes for artillery, and has 4,000 funds, so probably infantry. Yep. 3,000 to bank. 19,000 versus 23,000. It's quite significant. Eagle may have control of both flanks, but he simply does not have the capturing game to back it up. Infantry, battlecopter, and recon. Artillery, anti-air, infantry. Hits the battlecopter. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Starting to capture some cities over here. Overall, just reorganizing everything. Nothing really much for me to cover. The funny thing as well, both players are reorganizing front lines, but they're reorganizing to a front line, which is certainly not the front. There's a lot of no man's land in the middle. So it's a weird stalemate where they're not even barely in range. They're not even in range whatsoever. Not even close. And Olaf has gone for a full bomber. I think Eagle should go for some heavier assets as well to help deal with. He knows about the neo tank, he knows about the medium tank. He needs some hard counters to that. He has some soft counters, but not necessarily hard counters. Now the front lines are starting to merge up here. Good command of battlecopters. They're ready to sortie. We do have 7,000 funds stored on up, so maybe eyeing for some bombers and neo tanks. Thing as well, when it comes to Eagle, he doesn't necessarily need a fighter to counter a bomber. Thanks to Lightning Strike, his anti-airs can move very far. And looks like Olaf has a general assault in this region, taking out a good number of units. Excuse me. Other artillery is simply not in range, so medium tank and neo tank will probably have to be struck by battlecopters at the current rate, because there's nothing else to really contend with them. Now this side's close to a power or superpower. Does get some good picks there. Battlecopter strikes neo tank. You can hit it again from the northern flank. Does take out the anti-air. No, does not take out the anti-air. It's the neo tank there. Does not put the artillery on top of the city there. I thought he would put it on top of the city just to get some health regen. Does strike the neo tank and the medium tank. He is not fully surrounded. Just surrounded from this side. But there's still this avenue of escape. And serve 163,000. Olaf's return of 173, so he's about a turn and a half ahead. But Eagle's making some good progress down south. Has minimal escort though, but there's even less opposition to the minimal units. Battlecopters push right forward. Eagle does have one healthy anti-air over here, as well as a healthy, or soon-to-be healthy one up here. Does hit that tank there. Lightning Strike's now available. Pop some Winter Fury, which will make it severely difficult for Eagle's Lightning Strike, but the front lines is kind of smashing each other, so the Lightning Strike should be finding enough. Bomber Advanced Wave 4 could be in range of anti-air, it's really hard to tell. This anti-air looks like can make it up to 5 tiles away at the moment. With a Lightning Strike, he may be able to range it. He will need to push through a lot of units. But maybe a good yeah, I think a Lightning Strike probably would be good this turn, since the front lines are smashing each other. Hard to say how exactly it'll go. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Does take the Battle Copter, 8 health, anti-air. Take some outlying units there. Artillery advancing forward. Merge with the 1 health artillery. Very nice. Hits the Battle Copter. Hits a regular tank there. Hits a regular tank up here. Finish off that unit there. And he looks like there's not a vision of this bomber yet, which is actually very important. Artillery strikes a medium tank. Anti-air strikes Battle Copter, and that was the one that was likely to strike the bomber there if he had a bit more of an opening. Though he is taking out all the Battle Copters at least. He's taking out a lot of escort units there. Merge and all that sort. Capturing infantry. Let's see. End serve 100,000 while Olaf still has 116 left on the field. This game will continue on. Olaf's still in a pretty good position. Eagle got a good Lightning Strike. Wasn't a perfect one. Though it feels like, let's see. This is something big though. 25 units versus 33 units. And Eagle still is making great progress of capturing up these territories along the left side. We're both at 21,000 income. The only thing that's strictly neutral at the moment is this lab in the center, which provides no income. One-health tank scouts. Bomber strikes anti-air. Maybe we could use a one-health tank and soften up a little bit. Gets that unit there. Various units now responding over here. Since it's just only infantry, it'll just reign supreme. 135 versus 87. Anti-airs are in range of this bomber, so that bomber was not used greatly there. Rotating some tanks down south, and as well as trying to get some anti-airs. Let's see if the Battle Copter engages Battle Copter. Should go fine enough for Eagle, though his anti-air that's going to make his way down south needs a city hop. Battle Copter, tank, recon, infantry. Neo tank and medium tank both fall back. The Neo tank's actually getting low on ammo. If 4 ammo is lower than ammo, sure. Tank. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Both players are at 21,000, though this may change relatively shortly. There's also 2 health infantry in there. Olaf has some infantry in range to start capturing these properties. One here, and this one go to right there. Olaf has just a good swarm of tanks being put on the field. Recon, anti-air, infantry. Battlecopter, infantry. Anti-air, infantry. And so, actually, not a whole lot of money he had to save up there. Wasn't paying attention, so then made the repairs on these Neo-Tank and Medium Tank a lot more fun than expected. Got 1 point of damage there. Stops or interrupts capture. Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter. Does not finish it off though. Takes off some outlying units there. Loses the coin flip. Can't say how successful the coin flip would have been. Recon hits infantry. Tank, infantry. Looks like Eagle saved up some monies there, so maybe eyeing for something expensive. He'll have, assume there's no repairs, 30,000 funds. You could be eyeing for a stealth or a mega. Neo-Tanks moving down south, but we've got a good core of battlecopters here. This 4 of battlecopter or ATR will have the trouble. These 2 ATRs need to get over here. There's just too many battlecopters for that Neo-Tank to handle. And pretty close to another Winter Fury is available for Olaf. Neo-Tank infantry. Battlecopter strikes tank. And Eagle goes for bomber, which is going to receive the Winter Fury. Infantry. And there's a Winter Fury. ATR strike battlecopter, ATR strike battlecopter, ATR strike battlecopter. Eagle will have enough for a lightning strike next turn. 1 battlecopter left down south. Getting a lot of various units here. Yeah, right now I don't think it'll be a good idea for Eagle to go for lightning strike. I think there's simply not enough assets he has left. There's a large amount of ATRs and tanks, so he would probably need more tanks in general down south. Lightning strike is now available, but these forces won't be able to hit too many targets. Olaf's right now is at 22,000, Eagle's at 20, and thanks to Winter Fury, that property was interrupted. Blackbolt is wounded. Tank infantry. Hits that infantry unit there. Hits the infantry and battlecopter. Hits this tank there. And just clean sweep here. Maybe a good idea to go for medium tank to help engage this region. Got multiple Neo-Tanks outpointed by Olaf as well as a medium tank. Battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. Olaf ends with 170,000. He only has 82. He is severely behind. About 4 turns. Making some progress in the center. ATR is just charging forward, hits the tank, hits the infantry, spots the bomber. He can always snare the bomber with a blizzard, cutting its movement speed by half. ATR infantry. Oh, gets trapped in the tank there. I'm not sure if it's loaded up with anything. That gets trapped there, and that is a 1 health battlecopter, so it's not really necessary. It's also low in fuel and ammo. Bomber does take out the medium tank. He could go for the lightning strike there. Actually, this may be a good turn for lightning strike. All these ATRs are pushed forward, and Neo-Tanks are within striking distance of the bomber, and has clear line of sight to one of them. Both of them, actually. Because with these tanks in range of the ATRs, he's able to get the ATRs out of the way. It is a pretty good replay so far. It is turn 33. Well, it'd be high, I'm not sure. That'll be you decide. Let's get some good hits there. ATR goes down, hits the recon. In the 1 health ATR round. Infantry, and infantry. And look at that. He was about 8 turns behind, but he's really evened out. They're pretty even, though the Winter Fury is just around the corner. just like winter. Does hit the tank there. Recon's moving around. Hits the 1 health battle copter. Does take out the 1 health infantry there. Hits the bomber. Winter Fury has been summoned, which will also snare this bomber here. You could move it towards the black boat and get a bit of repairs. Black boat itself is almost down. Anti-air, and recon. Maybe going a little bit too heavy in the anti-airs. Right now, Eagle has 2 bombers, which one's 2 health. Maybe merge them together and 1 battle copter. Does put a bombing run into the Neo tank. Takes out some of the outlying units there. Anti-air down to 1 health, so the 8 health bomber can advance safely. It's the Neo tank as well with a battle copter. Infantry anti-air tank. This tank is down to 1 HP, 14 fuel as well. I thought the battle copter was earlier. I just realized that I have the part of the dialogue caught off. Oh well, at least it's visible enough. T-copter. Oh, T-copter makes it back to the airport with 4 fuel remaining. That's a good T-copter. I love seeing the transports low in fuel. You know you got a good use out of it if the transports are low in fuel. Tank, and infantry. Granted, Eagles, the battle copters don't burn the day-to-day fuel. Two bomber could finish off the Neo tank. He can merge 2 bombers in as well. You can also send one of the bombers towards the black boat to get a bit of repairs. Does bomber with the 2 bomber. Let's see now. It's pretty even. Olaf still has a day-to-day funds advantage. I always add this with player 2. Player 1 just soon does not get that reference. Hit some outlying infantry units there. Anti-airs head to the forests. You can see Eagle's force is pretty congested in 2 certain areas, while Olaf's just completely scattered. How many anti-airs? 6 anti-airs. Yeah, definitely no fly zone. Yeah, it was worth in the end. Recon, anti-air recon. Right now, Olaf is pretty susceptible to regular tanks at the moment. He has 6 tanks, 6 anti-airs. Eagle in return has 6 tanks, 3 anti-airs. Hits that anti-air very nicely. Hits these tanks as well. There's 2 anti-airs in front of him, but he can only really effectively knock out 1, though the bomber could have bombed 1 of them itself. Wouldn't be perfect. In fact, that may be one of the few cases where a lightning drive could actually be warranted. Because in this extreme, getting to a very late game, Lightning Strike's getting very more expensive, which means Lightning Drive is a bit more on the table. After all, Lightning Drive is still not great. It increases the attack from 15% to 20%, so plus 5% firepower on this aircraft, which is not great, along with plus 10 fractional power superpower. This is maybe the best case scenario for a Lightning Drive. And the scenario is not great. Though I suppose actually more tanks in reserve hit both the anti-airs, hits 1 of them. Does hit the other anti-air of the bomber itself. Tank infantry. 2 off bomber moving over here. Maybe gonna try to merge into this bomber here. Give it extra fuel and ammo, as well as extra health. All of them limited supplies, honestly. Yeah, a lightning drive is it's a power that probably should only cost 1 star. In its current state, that's not like the dual strike lightning drive. It's effectively a 1-star power. Because it's 3 stars. It shouldn't cost 3 stars. It increases the air capabilities to +20, +20 from +15, +10. Yeah, that's not a lot. +10% defense on aircraft. Woo! It still doesn't match Wayland. Does hit that tank twice. Bomber, infantry, and commit space skip. Still pretty even, both of them. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. 147 ending, 123 starting, so Eagle's about a turn behind. Yeah, it's probably about time to merge those bombers together. Make some good progress down south. Does hit the anti-air. Recon hits infantry. Infantry hits infantry. Infantry hits anti-air. I thought the anti-air would strike the anti-air with a mech nearby. It's probably not a good idea. Bomber heading down south of the winter. And does merge the bombers together. So now it's up to 75 health. Or not 75 health, 75 fuel. Infantry, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. So again, the infantry in there, tank on tank. Tank will finish off tank. Other tank will not advance forward. Both of these bombers heading this region. 9 in full health bomber. A lightning strike will make them very effective versus the anti-airs. There's also a good number of battlecopters in the field. Times you wish that there was dusters in this game. Oh, we got a full fighter deployed by Olaf. That's probably a good idea with 2 bombers in the field. Granted, he only sees the 1 at the moment. Income right now is also 23,000 versus 19. And Olaf does still have both comm towers captured. I forgot to mention that. Nothing to stop Eagle from recapturing these territories, these properties. Looks like Olaf's migrating up north. Looks like going to be one big conflict over here. Lightning strike will, of course, be very nice, but there's a lot of targets here for a lightning strike. Eagle may want to put a bit more effort to capture this comm tower. That definitely will help out with this lightning strike. Anti-air, double infantry, saves 7,000 funds. Olaf has still 26,000 good code for another bomber and neo tank. Interrupts are captured severely. Picks out that infantry unit there, hits that 1 unit. And everything over here is rotating over here, and that'll be great for Eagle's lightning strike. Tank battlecopter. Hits the anti-air down south, hits the mech twice. And we still got this recon here providing some excellent vision. Neo-tank infantry commit space skip. Finish off the 1 health infantry unit with 2 health mech. And we've got some of these units put forward. A lightning strike can easily be gotten next turn. but don't know if that's going to be enough targets. Oh, Olaf, is he going for the Winter Fury? Nope. Maybe he had a miscalculation. Hard to say. I don't think this would be a good turn for a lightning strike. There's not enough targets within range, and he needs more scouts. He may need to get to deploy some more recons in this area just for spotting. Winter Fury will be summoned next turn, but looks he's charged forward. Looks like he's going to close the gap before the Winter Fury settles in. And him having reduced movement speed, he's going to use it to cross no man's land. Still lacking proper scouting, so the 3-off tank should probably just charge it first and get trapped. Hits the anti-air first, which is probably a good idea. Hits the stuff that's visible. Bomber strikes tank there. Neo-tank strikes regular tank there. Good planning there. Leaves units behind to let the reinforcements take them out. The rear guard. Hits the battlecopter there, making great progress. It hits the tank there. Tank hits anti-air. Tank hits anti-air. Tank hits anti-air. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Anti-air takes out the recon with a tank. So some units there, and there interrupts the capture, hits the mech, hits the infantry, joins there, but not join capture. Infantry. Managed to get up to and serve 195 versus 113, but with Winter Fury, calls him down to 154 of day-to-day funds. He's still slightly behind, and it's his turn, and the front lines are collapsing each other. Now it's definitely a good comeback. Great call of the lightning strike that closed no man's land. It was definitely a gamble, and I think so with the superpower, he didn't want to take another superpower like that, so he decided to get a gamble and was successful. Takes out bomber there. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Infantry hits battlecopter. Neo-tank infantry. And Olaf and serve 134. Eagle starts to serve 98, which is still pretty good. 27 versus 26 units, though he is behind, and of course a lot of funds was used on repairs, so let's see what he does. Resupplies, joins, captures, 3-turn capture. Anti-air hits the fighter, pulls back his tanks, bomber, down to 1 health. Joins some tanks together and just overall just pulls back. Captures this city somehow. I hope he managed to flip that city. 18,000 versus 25, so it's probably actually 17 versus 25. There's a tank there. Tank. 150 versus 95. Eagle's pretty far behind. Anti-air takes up the battlecopter, gets trapped there, and decides to resign. His hand grade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I'm going to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. Apologies, I am back. Also, drink. And there we go. Let's see, delete this one. Kindle versus Drake. say that's pretty good. I just realized something. There's a lot of units on the map. Okay. I was too busy trying to clean up the set up the replay, and all of a sudden I just looked at the map a bit more closely, like, hey, there's a lot of units there. Yeah. Either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and right here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on bottom side as a black hole Kindle, we got a foreign name. On top right side as the acid green Drake, we got Dixie Wreck. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. When it comes to most COs, Drake's battlecopters are completely horrible. Drake's battlecopter is so horrible they can be quite comedic. Don't go for more than 2 at any point in time, let's say. Yeah, Advanced Wars by Web's site is not perfect by any stretch. Though the Days of Ruin counterpart, Tiny Wars, is actually very nice. We do now have APC, also boosts there as well, very nice. More infantry do have now recon to pull it on out. Kindle's recon portray forward. She of course get plus 40% firepower from attacking from urbanized terrain, including air units. Tank there. And likely catch that one there. Kindle, of course, could get first strike on this recon, but they're out of vision range from each other, so maybe not so. Yeah, it looks like Kindle's recon cannot strike this one, it's just out of vision range. Pulls back slightly into that forest there, though I did not see which direction. If she took this plains, it would be hidden. If she goes on this plains, it was not hidden. We have now a tank and recon up north. APC pushing over to this area. Recon right there. Kindle's tank is starting to head over here. There's also a pair of comm towers. While in the center it suggests to be contestable, they're really not contestable whatsoever. If one gets captured, it's already pretty much game over. Medium tank, early medium tank by Drake on the weak side. We do have 16,000 funds, 13,000 funds or income. So Drake's taking a nice economic lead. Recon, infantry, and tank. Medium tank heading down south for winter. Of course, this recon has good vision in this area. Does not see this regular tank just yet. Now spot that regular tank there at a really inopportune time. Does get a recon, but we've got another reinforced tank here, so if Drake attacks this tank, it will receive retaliation with this tank. However, it will have capability of firing from a 3-star property, which means good defense. Tank, infantry, and artillery. Does take that shot there. Medium tank is now known by this recon. Tank, recon, tank. Oh, got a battlecopter. Kindle battlecopters are completely utterly ordinary. Unless on top of city, then they are very good. Does get some good hits there. Infantry, 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 and battlecopter saves 10,000 funds, which reminds me, I always have to check this. No black bombs, yes to seaplanes. You can also get submarines if you so choose on this map. Is it a good idea? No. I'm saying you can. Does finish off that tank there. Does get trapped there. This tank could receive a double tap, though if Kindle could do something crazy, clean up this infantry unit there. Nope, got surrounded there. I was going to say, she could use an Urban Blight, turn this 1-health cruiser to a 1% cruiser, then get a booster strike from the HQ onto this tank here. Because Kindle can do that. Oh, I just realized this cruiser went down. Did she delete it at one point in time? Or did it get killed off? It doesn't really matter. Does get a good shot there, does pick it off. Kindle has a good core of tanks up here, doesn't she? And Drake's medium tank's still a bit far away, not the most agile of beasts. And we've got Neo Tank, Infantry, and regular tank. That's what it's deployed our monies for. Kindle can now pop Urban Blight, which will give her plus 40% for firepower from urbanized terrain to plus 80%. Not to mention, soften up every single enemy unit on top of urbanized terrain as well. Yeah, Kindle is one of those COs that's sometimes a bit hard to counter her. Urban Blight not only is a great way to do some global damage, but also just allows you to just turn these what should be strongholds as points of you can push off from, soften them up with 33 damage, and then get absurd firepower boosts and nuke something that's next to it. She inverts some of the terrain. Oh! We got Tsunami. Tsunami got deployed on the field, which will bleed off half the field of everything, not to mention get 1 damage global. Maybe he wants to soften up an Urban Blight. Either way, that's something that was not expected. Interrupts a lot of captures, such as this one up here, and well, that one was there. This one here as well. And does put a medium tank next to HQ, and puts enough mass in front of it. Goes for Neo Tank infantry. When it comes to Kindle, her power course is excellent. Her high society is actually pretty good. It's not a bad superpower. It actually gives you quite a bit of firepower bonuses in these maps. For example, if we were to take a look at what a firepower bonus would be, 24, so that would be plus 72% firepower on all units. That's pretty good. And of course, tacking from urbanized terrain gets increased up to from 40 to 130%. So tacking from urbanized property, we're looking at about 200% firepower increase. Yeah, you can with Kindle, you can colon level firepower bonuses. Does take out that infantry there, tank hits infantry there, interrupts and stops the capture. Eyesight is almost available. And think as well, there is actually argument to made for her on high side here. If she gets enough firepower bonuses, she can one-shot the tanks of her own tanks, and then perhaps tank hits tank, tank hits tank, then tank hits recon, then Neo Tank knocks out medium tank, because Neo Tank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is in range of the medium tank. Just needs a path cleared away for it. Let's see. Let's just do a quick calculation. Tank hits tank on 0-star defense, 2 power. Yeah, right now, if she pops a high society, she will one-shot these tanks with her regular tanks. She can actually knock out that medium tank this turn. This tank's in range, this tank's in range, and this tank's in range. Didn't take out the tank recon. There's actually argument to be made for high society this turn if she gets enough power charge. She's actually getting pretty close. She will need to do... there's the tank striking there. Tank hits there. She has high society available. Does go for Urban Blight instead, which will strike the secondary Neo Tank to the back. And stops a capture there. Try to put some properties. We're gonna get enough power charge to pop the high society. Not to mention that medium thing was not necessarily vision range. Does get some good damage there. When it comes to Kindle, I say don't pull high society off the table. It is a good superpower. Speaking of something that could happen, this Neo Tank's next to an urbanized property. Another Urban Blight supercharge could allow her Neo Tank to do some good work. But getting range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, it's not in range to get on top of the HQ either way. So never mind. But the Neo Tank can strike the medium tank, but of course with the Neo Tank not in range, it's hard to tell if she which means the Neo Tank can get a first strike on this Neo Tank. 2F Tank falls back. That Neo Tank is exposed, which is gonna be a bit of a problem for Kindle. Battlecopter, recon, and infantry. And there's a good strike there, a good first strike. And it's not next to a urbanized property for retaliation. Looks like we're going to see a Typhoon this turn. It's regular tank there. Problem is, large now these tanks are now next to properties. High Society is now available. We could see a miniature nuke launcher here. We should go for High Society, so we can go for Urban Blight. It's probably a good call for a Urban Blight right now this turn. Does pop the Urban Blight. Now she gets a lot of boost strike there. For example, this 5 health tank will do... does punch well above its weight, that's for sure. Won't one-shot it, but she can at least bring this 4 health tank there and easily one-shot it. Artillery, a miniature nuke launcher there. That's probably looking at about 100% damage. 88%. 93, so it's a bit of a coin flip of finishing it off, but it was a weighted coin flip. After all, the percentage health was likely to be like a one-shot either way. There's 2 strike there, takes out that tank. Does hit that unit twice. Neo Tank does fall back. And think as well, if this Neo Tank gets top of the sea to hit this tank there, it can be Urban Blighted. Remember, she has plenty of power charges for another Urban Blight. So don't attack this tank with your Neo Tank. It is a trap. Fell into the trap. Oh no. Neo Tank, move the other Neo Tank off south those cities. If your opponent has an almost power charge from Urban Blight, you must assume there's going to be Urban Blight. Tank, infantry, and T-Copter. At this point in time, she sees this Neo Tank, which gives her all the justification for a Urban Blight. She'll just get a bit of ice in the cake. Just need a bit of power charge. Battlecopter could, of course, get a striking Neo Tank that should give enough power. Sees the other Neo Tank there. Sack an infantry unit there to hit that Neo Tank. Or I could send the Neo Tank into this Neo Tank after Urban Blight, honestly. Urban Blight. Pop Urban Blight before the end of the turn. You hit 2 Neo Tanks. And this 4 health tank could hit the 3 health tank. Maybe actually would have one-shot at it. Yeah, it would have been wait. No, urbanized terrain. It would be actually a bit of a coin flip. It's hard to say what percentage damage this took. But that could be a Neo Tank there. Infantry. So, skim south, keeping 7,000 funds. While eyeing for a submarine. It's the Battlecopter. Drake has 12,000 funds in the bank. That Urban Blight, well, costs a lot of blight. Anti-air infantry. Kindle, ooh, had a lot of repair funds as well. She had 7,000 funds in the bank, right? And now she didn't even get full 23,000, so... She had a lot of repairs across the map. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, infantry. And keeps 7,000 funds in the bank. Didn't she have 7,200 last time as well? Somehow it's remained even like that. Good strike there in the tank and artillery. Got, of course, a booster strike here from this tank. An Urban Blight here will also suffer with this tank as well. Neo-tank sitting down south, falls back to the city. And of course, we got a Neo-tank next to a city, which could mean a booster strike onto it. Probably from Battlecopter for that. Yeah, Kindle is one of those seals when you fight against, you really have to think about every single movement. Because usually, it, like I said beforehand, turns the strong tiles to weak tiles. Pops Urban Blight. That takes down to 4 health. Just ignore the sudden part. I hit the button too quickly. Down to 1 health. Down to 0 health. Booster strike down that tank. Great damage there. Hits the A tier. Neo tank hits Neo tank for a good amount of damage. We do now have a Typhoon available. Puts around A tier. Hits the South Neo tank again. The Urban Blight's been on point this game. Infantry, infantry, infantry. Go cheap because the Typhoon and everything's wet now and waterlogged. Of course, the British CO loves its the summon rain to make everything just miserable. I don't know if all the COs have some sort of reference country. I know Green Earth is generally referencing Europe in general. Since a lot of the equipment is a mix of British and German equipment, it seems like. Well, Yellow Com's, of course, Japanese. Orange Star, which is American, but also not supposed to be American, because Orange Star was also Red Star, hence why it's called Orange Star. And, of course, Blue Moon's supposed to be Russian. Good damage there. Tank, Battlecopter, and infantry. I think, yep, looks like I got, 1 moment, 21-1. Okay, that fixed the double overlap stuff, look like. Sorry about that, I saw the 2 sets of units in the field and we got a little bit concerned about that. Hopefully that's all fixed. Tank, infantry. Oh. Looks like something ran out of fuel. Not sure what it was. Probably a Battlecopter. I think it had like a handful of health. Did not have enough health to get the other to merge with the other Battlecopter. Good damage there. This Battlecopter's down to 22 fuel. Not too much remaining in its tank. We've got 2 Neo-tanks once again on top of urban properties, which could be struck nicely. Right now the income's 23 versus 24,000. We've got a handful of despicable neutral properties still off the field. Here and here. Tower as well as the city here. So 3 cities are still despicably neutral. Man, that's a lot of repairs. Yo, Drake has 10,000 funds right now out of the 24,000 he's supposed to have. He is eating a lot of repair costs. Maybe a little bit too many. Neo-tank does strike the Neo-tank. Of course, next to a city, which means an Urban Blighted boosted Battlecopter could get some good damage onto that that Neo-tank. Tank, infantry. Could see Urban Blight next turn, or this turn. Maybe sack the Neo-tank to get power charge. Pulls back that Neo-tank. It's regular tank there. Does not join capture. It has 3 capture progress remaining, hence why the 3 infantry unit did not get in front of it. It's the A tier. Has an Urban Blight available. Tank, recon. I think Kindle should not have gone for the Urban Blight. Use it at the start of her turn to get booster strike from certain properties. Because that is an aspect that's very powerful about Urban Blight. you can be a bit more tactical with it. A lot of stuff goes down, does get trapped there, so this property will be flipped next turn. Goes for another power. Battlecraft down to 14 fuel. Infantry tank. Neo tank advanced to the forest. Don't think it was spotted there. Booster strike on that tank. Did interrupt the capture there with the tsunami, so should have merged those two infantry units together. Be at 5 health rather than 2 and 2. Tank, recon, and infantry. Drake starts turn with 113, Kindle ends her turn 108, so Drake still has about a full turn advantage. A little bit more since he has a little bit excess money. Drake's making good progress down south. 10 capture progress remaining. 19 capture progress remaining. And the Neotanks falls back to the urbanized property. Tank anti-air. Probably not going to be seeing Urban Blight, but there is an Urban Blight. It's going to be successful again. 136 for 109, down by about 27, which is not too terrible, though a lot of repairs. Booster strike there in that tank. Hits the anti-air, knocks out anti-air, intercept, or it does not stop the capture there. Reinforcing tanks here, so Kindle will have great control over here. It still has a good amount of new tanks up here. Spots the anti-air a little bit too late. Trying to catch the property. Does look at the anti-air. I think you should put that 2 infantry in front of that on top of that road or bridge in order to body block the tank there. Interrupts the capture. Still, those properties still despicably neutral. Oh, did something else just crash there? Probably another battle copter low on fuel. Let's see. So many units on top of cities, particularly 4 health ones. Not versus Kindle. You don't want to be on or next to urbanized terrain. Though looks like this turn's going to be a bit of a reposition turn. We do have now APC deployed on the field, probably for this battle copter, with 24 fuel remaining. Hits that infantry twice, hits that infantry once, trying to flip the city there, hits that infantry in there, spots the Neo tank. And both these Neo tanks are next to urbanized property. You know what that means. Of course, tank on top of this city there. Recon does have full vision this region. We could see an Urban Blight this turn. It's probably a good turn for it. And plus, an Urban Blight... let's just say 40%. That could finish off the tank, depending on what percentage of health it has remaining. So yeah, this Neo tank can actually just outright stay here. Let this Neo tank engage this one, Urban Blight soften this up. Then perhaps finish off the tank and or battlecopter. And then Neo tank can just simply nuke the other Neo tank. Oh, yep, like I said, there's a chance that it does finish it off. Takes out both Neo tanks this turn. Yeah, the other part of the power of Urban Blight is very good. Tank. Insert for 148. Drake now is 103. So Drake is starting to fall behind. Of course, he still has his power available. You can always go with superpower. New tank infantry. Booster strike there hits the anti-air. Finish it off. Tank hits there. We do now have a Typhoon available. Pushing forward, Science hit a lot of units, very nice. New tank's going to take a bit of a beating though. Oh, everything's going to take a bit beating. Insert of 146 versus 100 or 900, 90,000. Blah, I cannot speak. Make that 114. Drake has gone up another Neo tank. Recon does get trapped and does resign. Kindle play that game excellently. There only some minor issues I had with her, but I really do like Kindle games. She just changes a lot of math to in an aspect that's very fun, I would say. Either way, this is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Maybe I should Meng's link to this replay. I think it's a good. I think it would be a good replay from the cast. I send them occasionally. Them. I don't think he's reviewed any of them. Either way, let's get started. Or let's get on to the next replay. I'm gonna keep that one saved. Done one with Olaf. Could go for something different. Let's see. Another Drake versus Kindle. Yeah, let's do this one. Adder versus Jess. I just realized something. There's a base in the corner that's surrounded by pipes. Which you can go for a pipe runner, as much as I joke around by that. A pipe runner here would lock down the airport and the base. Wait, how much vision does a pipe runner have? Really stupid question. How much vision does a pipe runner have? Does it have one? Does it have more? I have no idea. I have no idea what the maximum vision of a pipe runner is. Either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the right side as the Blue Moon Adder. We've got Companion, Trapezoid. Spawn on top or just left side as the Orange Star Jess. We got Get Good. This map appears to be a 2-base map, 1 airport. You do have a base outside the opponent's base, which can be in a great position to pull out a pipe runner to hit everything. But I also can't remember how much vision range a pipe runner has. Okay, I just have to look that up. What is there a way for me to look that up through here? Pipe runner. Oh, pipe runners. Pipe runners are banned. Oh, I'm an idiot. Though then again, who would ever ban pipe runners? Okay, let's see. Artillery don't have great vision range, right? So they can't lock down the base. Missiles have excellent vision range. They can range to the airport and spot for it. They have 5-tower range. Remember that. But yeah, pipe runners are off the table. I think that base is meant occasionally deploy out a spotting recon, which would force your opponent to respond to it. Artillery can easily range it. Artillery have like 1 or 2 range of vision range. I honestly just can't remember. Either way, let's just get the game going. I was wondering, like, this seems like a good map for pipe runners. Do you have a recon deployed in the field? Yep, 2 base, 1 airport. Just course 10% less firepower on our aircraft, but that's acceptable. You gotta come to make it normal. You do have now tank deployed in the field. Got a recon now deployed in the field. Tank is not spotted, so if you would have pushed forward into this capture, it will receive some retaliation from the tank. Black boat here. You do start with black boat on top of your lab, and this is only a 2 labs match, so it's effectively an HQ that provides no income. Probably did a lab rather than HQ because the base is in the corner is providing income. Does take a shot there in that recon. Artillery. Yeah, artillery only has 1 vision range. Just had to double check that. I could have sworn it was 1, but part of me second guesses if it was 2. I still have no idea what the vision range of pipe runners. I've only ever deployed pipe runners in... Did Did I ever even deploy pipe runners the Dual Strike campaign? I think the only map that you can build pipe runners to a reasonable degree in the Dual Strike campaign was probably the final mission, where you can use a pipe runner to take out one of the what's it called? Grand Bolt's what's it called? Nucleus? And I think that's the only map you can actually reasonably deploy pipe runners in Dual Strike. Can't remember if there's any other. Got Tank Recon. Oh, something I realized as well. I've got actually just the stream, the stuff here. Oops. My apologies. I got so intrigued by the map that I forgot to do this part. There you go. Luckily, everything was pretty visible to begin with. There's a lot of overlap when it comes to the profile pictures. Oops, actually highlighted that. Stop highlighting it. Okay, I don't know why I can hide. Never mind. Let's see. Battlecopter infantry. Got tank battlecopter infantry. Headers capture his comm tower, and also denying this comm tower. Artillery rangers that said comm tower as well. Just has a good number of tanks here, but also got tank lurking in the woods. The singular recon has visionless artillery, but it is out of movement range. So the artillery will get a good shot on in. Infantry anti-air. Hits that tank twice. And it looks like the I might have been hitting the next move too quick. Artillery got the first strike in there. Anti-air push away forward as well. Battlecopter strikes tank. Tank will strike tank. Tank will strike, or recon will strike artillery. Tank will strike artillery. Do now have a side slip available, but early victories for Jess. Neo tank infantry. Battlecopter tank recon. Good shots there. Do now have a full sidewinder available. Battlecopter tank and recon. For the most part, side slip's all you generally need. Does go with the side slip. Takes out the battlecopter, hits the anti-air, hits the anti-air. Do now have a full overdrive available. Battlecopter, infantry. Howdy. Oh, we got a turbocharge. So if you don't need the full firepower movement range, turbocharge is perfectly fine. It allows you to go for the 1-2 punch. Hits the tank there, hits the infantry unit there, hits the infantry unit there, interrupts the capture. Battlecop's the only thing that Adder has in the region to deal with the Neo tank. Another just Battlecopter recon tank. Adder can go for another side slip, but get what's power charge you can beforehand. Interrupts the capture there. Adder still has the comm tower, just does not have the comm tower. In fact, Adder has it occupied at the moment. Infantry, and a full bomber. Set unit twice. Battlecopter could get a shot in the Neo tank. There's a shot in the infantry unit there. Looks like going to try to bring in the bomber to take out the Neo tank. Quite understandable. Just as Battlecopter strikes Adder's Battlecopter. Of course, has 10% less firepower. Adder's has plus 10% more firepower. Anti-air, T-copter, and infantry. Adder pops a side slip. And pulse movement range, trying to capture that city. It'd be a 3-turn capture. Hits that infantry unit there. Hits that infantry unit there. Got a couple strikes. Regular tank. Bomber heading over to the west. And everything else is just pulling back. Using side slip as a retreat function there. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Just has, what, one ATR in the field? Yeah, the only ATR is way back here, so it's very out of range. Not to mention they'll spawn on the wrong side, so this bomb is going to have free reign over here. It's maybe a good time to start eyeing for a recon to keep scout out the stuff in this region. It's the tank there. Neo tank is not in range of the bomber. Just need to be in vision range. It's actually going to be a little bit difficult right now. Does go to recon, spots the tank and battlecopter, misses the bomber, but needs to scout out this Neo tank. We'll simply just have to use this anti-air, and of course only 2 vision range, so it has to get here or here. This infantry unit is just simply out of range, though. Could pop the sides with a sprint around the side. Does get a good shot there. Needs to get that side slip charge, so this infantry unit can sprint forward and spot it, because it will need to be 1, 2, 3. Nope, that won't be in range. Yeah, it needs a side slip on this one here to get into vision range of that Neo tank. Pops the side slip there. Recons get some shots up there, trying to capture some properties. Battlecopter did the job, and the Neo tank gets bombed. Down to minimal health. Bomber would have done... Let's see, yeah. Since it rolled high at 9, so got some decent damage done. Black Cloak gets a boost. Neo tank falls back. Tanks falls back. Fighter, recon, and infantry. Oh, gets trapped there. Which is a minor loss for Adder. It's just a recon movement. It did its job in reconning. Bomb sitting up north because of fearing about an ATR, but in this case, it's going to be a full fighter. Infantry, battlecopter. Does Adder even see that base there? Just cannot. So, Adder does not know about that recon down there, providing some valuable intel, particularly the aircraft. Neo tank does fall back to the city there with the black boat nearby. Can get extra repair per turn, so it'll take 3 turns to get it fully repaired. So it's going to cost an arm and a leg, that's for sure. Probably a good idea to push forward when it's at 7 health, not worry about getting it fully repaired. It's the anti-air. It surrounds the anti-air, takes out that battlecopter. Hits that infantry unit twice, so retain the 1 comp power advantage. We do have a turbocharge available. Infantry Neo tank. Plus, I forgot to start the local recording. Oh well, I guess this one's not being uploaded to YouTube. The live stream exclusive then. Trying to flip that or capture that counter. This city's still strictly neutral, and that appears to be, let's see, 21,000, 19,000. Yep, this city's still despicably neutral, but will be captured this turn. Good damage there, picks off the anti-air, hits the infantry. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Thing as well, just could have gone for a missile one point in time to finish off the battlecopters, but that would immediately respond with artillery, and 9,000 for 12,000, so it's not a great trade. Still at least provides some good vision, delays reinforcements as well. Adder could go for a missile, but the chance of just aircraft is not as... Wait a second. Adder could have built a missile the turn that the bomber is exposed, possibly snaring himself a fighter. Think about that. If you're going to build the bomber, the turn that your bomber gets upon the field, or gets revealed, you can go for a missile to hopefully counter out a fighter that may pop out. That'd be a really nasty rude awakening. That maybe just outright force your opponent resigns just right then and there. You can push forward at 7 health, but is city hopping. Meteor tank. Wait a second, I just realized something as well. Stealths are legal, so the turn that then your opponent has to go for a fighter to counter that stealth. And you can deploy the missile out to stop the fighter from being deployed in the field, forcing the opponent to do migrate artillery piece in range. It does go for recon finally up here. There's some really nasty things you can do with that base there. Sadly, a pipe run is not one of them. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. So it does spot the battlecopter and anti-air. Very nice. Does get trapped up north. Got Sidewinder and Overdrive both available. Lot 2 of battlecopters. They can just merge together. Infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Instead of 139 plus 130, now they're both 130. Tank is tank, interrupts the capture there. Just finally did capture the comm tower there. Recon, battlecopter, recon, and tank. So, Jess now knows about this recon there. So she can just make sure to put on any high value deployment on this base here. Good hits there. Finish that recon. Do now the new tank takes out the anti-air. Tank hits tank. Tank hit or battlecopter hits tank. Does get a nice surround around his own tank there, preventing the new tank from connecting. Bomber is in the rear. Howdy. Thanks. To be honest, my actual mustache is actually much larger. Neo tank does strike Neo tank. Tank does strike tank. Anti-air hits infantry. Battlecopter anti-air. And we've got another Sidewinder. Neo tank strikes anti-air. Bomber nukes Neo tank. Anti-air strikes battlecopter. And looks like he's unable to range this fighter there, but could they surround his bomber? He has enough assets there to surround it. Does have to be careful of this rotor tank though. Looks like the bomber may get shot down. Battlecopter, tank, recon. Adder's in great position so far this game. Fighter does strike the bomber, effectively knocking it out. It's the new tank does battlecopter. Battlecopter, tank, and anti-air. Anti-air hits fighter. Anti-air hits fighter. Need that extra, both the bomber and the fighter are basically done for. Bomber does fall back, get resupplied at the black boat. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Don't know if it's even worth it trying to repair up the bomber. It would take forever just to get resupplied from the black boat. And 2 health or 1 health is just basically a flying blocker at that point in time, just cause issues with movement. Recon does go down there. Got the Neo tank in vision range now, but the wrong moment. The Neo tank could push forward, hit the anti-air, then allow the battlecopter hit the regular tank. And that's what he does. And does partially surround these tanks here. And we got a river there. Resupplies the bomber up to 2. Neo tank here, so he's going to be eating a lot of repairs. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Just has 27,000. Neo tank. Let's look at the regular tank there. New tank does strike the tank. It's the battlecopter up north. Just has enough for us another superpower. But Adder's in a so good position. Bomb to 4 health. I do not know the magic number for health for Bomber. Let's see now. Adder ends of 146 versus 89. Adder's in a very good position. Let's take out the regular tank there. Quadrant scout out forward. One fire is just trying to stick around, trying to do some work against the Bomber. Recon, tank, and battlecopter. Both players have the superpower. Adder's more like go for his power. Just can go for either. Side slip activated for Adder. And has overall great dominance down the southern flank. Neo-tank just saw a lurk in the woods. Got reinforced in Neo-tank here. Bomber finished off the E tier, very nice. And does finish off the fighter there. For a consolation prize, honestly. Oh, can't hit a next turn any further. So it looks like Jess may have resigned. Though usually in this case, one of the players, they may have just called a draw. Info, view, stats, here. Oh. May have bugged out some stuff. Wait, it says both got victory. Either way, I'm just gonna call it for Adder. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see, I probably have time for one more replay tonight. Hopefully it's a good one. Let's see. I already did this sort of matchup. Go to Eagle versus Kindle. Oops, that was the same one. I hate Hawk versus Sasha matchups. I just don't like playing casting Sasha games. It just makes it just too generic. If I can put it anyway. Yeah, we could probably do an Olaf versus Max. Let's see. Needs to replay this game a little bit shorter. I've organized them based on the amount of turns it takes. Let's just do this one. Oh, sorry, I can't do one of your games you like, if you're talking about sarcastically. Let's see, have that one I saw earlier. Also have this one. It's a little bit shorter though. We just did Adder, so. Let's see. Either way, let's go ahead and get started with this one. I think this will be a good one. So let me make sure the... Actually, I don't have to touch the... whatchamacallit? The window. It's already perfectly set up because of the same map size. So let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by web replay. I was trying to say Days of Ruin in my mind. So on bottom right side is the yellow Comet Max, or Catador. Spawn on top left side is the green Earth Olaf. We got IDS Agent 1. IDS is, of course, the bad faction in Days of Ruin. We also got a bit of a Days of Ruin skin here, the ash color. Just entry so far. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Both players do start with a black boat. Olaf pushes black boat towards, well, his infantry. Early recon by Olaf. More infantry for both sides, not big surprise. Though Max has enough funds for a tank. Goes for double recon, okay? He wants to really reconnoiter the map. Mech, infantry, and recon. More infantry. Sim 5,000 funds in the bank. does get hit there. This recon may not be in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like the recon is in range of the recon. And, oh, I just realized, I've been not really paying attention to the infantry mode. Olaf has both comm towers already captured. Recon did not engage this recon here. Tank, infantry, infantry. So, comm tower rush for Olaf. Max, of course, has a bit of a light tank. And a mech nearby for Olaf as well. Depending on the position of this recon, if the recon takes a shot from this plains here, it can be retaliated by the mech that's on top of the river. On top or in the river? Probably in the river. On the river is Poker. Mostly Texas Hold'em. And looks like the... Oh, nice use of that 1 health HP to intercept. But there's 3 infantry to take it out. And then the mech to strike the recon there. And then this other recon probably finished off. Or just go for infantry unit, because a 1 health recon doesn't really pose much of a threat. But a 1 health recon can still reconnoiter the area. Does have the recon strike the recon. So it looks like Olaf's taking some early victories. He can also tell by the power charge. Max has 12,000 sword on up. Olaf has 8,000, so good kill to death ratio for Olaf, though that mech is getting ripped apart now. Battlecopter, infantry, infantry, and infantry. Max battlecopters do get plus recent firepower. Of course, Olaf can just make it move slowly. Battlecopter and triple infantry as well. Another mech in range of a tank. Recon just gets right there. Finish off the infantry there. Tank move until it hits the tank there. Olaf's taking a lot of early victories, I would say. Use the mech to hit the infantry unit there. Recon falls back. Mech hits tank. Resupplies recon. And this Black Boat's getting pretty low on fuel. It has 7 fuel remains, so he's getting APC out to get it resupplied. It has another. It will stay alive for the next 6 turns before it gets sunk. The artillery by Olaf is something Max can rarely ever go for. Not only do they get less firepower, they just simply have less range. And looks like Max's Black Boat here is down to 17 fuel. Hits the mech. And does finally finish off that mech there. No more mechs in this region. Good shot against the pipe scene, you monster. Tank infantry. Battlecopter hits infantry unit there. Recon interrupts capture. Infantry finish off recon. Tank hits tank, the healthy one. Battlecopters. So Olaf still has both comm towers, it's very important. He also has an income advantage, 16 versus 14. The Olaf is starting to capture a property there. Oh, and this property here as well. Tank, recon, and infantry. Max now has max force and max blast available. Generally, his power is all you really need, but if you really need to punch your opponent in the face, you go for your superpower. Throwing captures onto this comm tower here, has 2 capture progress remaining. Tank charged by 4, does go for a regular power, I should mention. These are great shots there. Artillery in range of those 4s won't be a hit the infantry nor the comm tower. Artillery in range of both these tanks. You have 1 unit in range of the artillery, might as well have multiple units in range of the artillery. And looks like Max is going to threaten both comm towers. This one is pretty severely threatened. 2 capture progress remaining. Artillery could take its time to finish off this tank here. The 3 health recon may be able to finish it off though. Okay, maybe not. It depends how wounded that tank is, and there's one not a good way to see that. Artillery, nope, no, that was the infantry unit there. Use the recon to spot the unit on top of the comm tower. Oh, Winter Fury. Still has 2 capture marks remaining, so needs a bit more damage, but I don't think there's anything interrupted, so this comm tower will be captured next turn. Even bad luck rolls probably would get you, or good luck rolls probably get you +1 damage there, not +2, so. Max will secure it once again. This capture does get interrupted. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. And instead of 91,000, Max has right now 50,000 exactly. That's not great. And only 14,000 in the bank. Max is very far behind. Captures the comm tower, that will even out the firepower. Somehow did not kill off the battlecopter there. $5 to 12%. So it probably was at maximum health. Guess Max did not get maximum firepower. Plus 10% defense may have helped out in its defense from the superpower. A 2 capture progress remaining as well. Battlecopter, triple infantry. So the infantry unit there, hits infantry unit, takes it out. Tank and recon should be enough to take it out. So I'm gonna flip that comm tower back. Medium tank infantry and commit space skip. Has 1,000 funds there for another infantry unit there. That was purposeful. Did manage to resecure that comm tower. Another max force activated. So Max has both comm towers now. Along with max force, he has a lot of extra firepower to work with. Interrupts a capture quite severely. Artillery still out of range. Black Boat here has 54 health because there's a APC here. This Black Boat is now down to 0 fuel. So that Black Boat will sink to the bottom of that ocean or shore. It'll be a very short sink because it's on top of a shore, but it will sink nonetheless. Fortunately, managed to make it to the forest there. Good position for it. Max still has both comm towers quite handily. This one will be interrupted next turn by this infantry unit there. You can choose either forest or mountaintop. Probably mountaintop's the way to go. Black Boat does sink. Hits the tank there. Interrupts the capture entirely. Tank infantry. In terms of 62,000, Olaf still has 97. And this position, Olaf is just in a really good position. Only thing I have Max right now has, like I said, is both comm towers. Yes, Max does not have any counter, not being countered to this battlecopter up here. So this is something going great for Max down here, even though he's severely outnumbered. Does sack the battlecopter with the battlecopter. And Max still has somewhat of control of this comm tower. Not permanent control, but at least will maintain control of it for a bit of time. Well, that tank could be shelled by the artillery. Hits that infantry unit there, hits that infantry unit there. It's trapped. I'm not sure if the... Looked like it was the 2 elf infantry unit there on the mountainside. Does not interrupt the capture with it. Does shell that tank there. Hits the ETR twice. And it completely surrounds that battlecopter. Battlecopter, recon, infantry, and artillery. Artillery could be useful to help shell down this pipe seam as well. Both players now have 1 comm tower. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter, manages to take it out 1 shot. Winter Fury is almost available. Yeah, this game is going very well in favor of Olaf, 123, 122,000, 34. One of the few times I'll say it's probably a good idea not to pop Winter Fury immediately because your opponent has nothing left there. Yeah, this game is not going well. I think this game's going to be one of those games where your opponent just doesn't want to surrender. Pops the power. Tank infantry. Shelling the pipe scene. Put some rounds of this tank there. Starting to capture more properties. Olaf's getting pretty close to a capture victory. Infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. Battlecopter, infantry. Hits the battlecopter there, hits the infantry. Anti-air finish off the tank. Medium tank really overkilled that tank. Takes out the pipe scene. Infantry, and medium tank. Max starting to break out over here, but has no counter to the battlecopters. Got an anti-air now on the field. Puts around this pipe scene there. Shelling another pipe scene here. Tank, infantry. It's the anti-air. Tank, and infantry. Does get the battlecopter. We do now the max blast available. Pops the superpower. Takes out the tank and battlecopter. But it's at 29,000 versus 163. Yeah, I'm not really spending too much time analyzing this game. Going to Pops Winter Fury, it's one of those games where it's like, Max should probably just surrender. And Max says, oh no, that was a capture victory. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I can do one more replay tonight, but I do need to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. If you have a replay you want me to catch, just post in the chat message. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Alright, you're just finding one. I can wait a moment. Let me just take time to delete that replay. Alright, let's take a look at that one. Yeah, I can't have trouble copy and paste it, so I'll just enter it manually. 1512297. Here we go, and replay. There you go, music. I wonder, did I actually have that one in my tab? Looks like not. Either way, just give me a moment to adjust everything. Map's a little bit small. Ah, this one's an older one. Did I actually do this one? Hang on, one moment. Let's see, I know I uploaded a good chunk of my replays, but this one looks familiar. I'm having trouble typing because of my macros. This one looks really familiar. That looks like I have not done that one. This one. One of those moments like, did I do this one? Give me a moment to run my macros. And time just for the replay. Here's one of those ones I did, but failed to save the replay file properly. Or maybe it's one I still need to take time, create the thumbnail, and actually get it scheduled. Because it takes time to do all that sort, and with all the games I cast, it does get a lot of time, and I sort of get burnt out on it a little bit over the weekend. There we go. Even that part was shown. There we go. I think that's all good. It is a small map, so perhaps, yeah, I may have done this map on different players. Hard to say, but let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web Replay. So on the south side is the Purple Lightning Adder. We got Low, Elo, Nobody. So on north side is the Gray Sky Lash. We got Classy-Warrior 250 underscore. This map is also a live league, so keep an eye on the timer. This map is also pretty small, so it's pretty easy to comprehend. Looks like there's 2 comm towers along the side for right click for firepower. Got 1 airport here, 2 bases, and let's get started. Though there's a lack of properties on this map, if I has a guess, so it's going to be difficult to actually start pulling up battlecopters. As I want to split this map in half, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Estimated 11,000 income? Did I forget the properties on here? Probably did. 18 properties with capture limits, so the capture limit is pretty low as well. Got a tank now for the field by Adder. Decent amount of properties here for defense, for Lash, for firepower. Does get a good shot there. Man's range all the way up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wonder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if Lash has her power, she can actually range and hit something that's hitting this property. Pushing forward on this property here, which means in range of this tank, of course with 3 defense stars, and of course repairs. Capturing both these comm towers here. Looks like Adder will capture this one over here. Battlecopter, push the way forward. Yeah, this map is small. Does get some damage here. Booster strikes. Let's take out the entry there. 8-tier tank. 11,000 versus 11,000 income. Lots of capture there, so 13,000 versus 11,000. 1 despicable neutral property here. Tank. Infantry. Lash needs 1 more turn to capture that property, so does surround that property. Small map, high firepower, which means Adder's increased movement range would be very nice. I think a sidestep would be particularly good. Lash's terrain tactics is just way too expensive for it to be useful, though there is actually a good number of forests on the field or to bypass for terrain tactics, but it's probably best to use save our prime tactics. I feel like Adders just has a upper hand in this matchup if I has to guess, but that can easily change. Tank infantry. Insert 47,000 versus 36. Pops the power, so it gets +10/+10 as well as +1 movement range. Tank hits tank, knocks it out, hits infantry, knocks it out, hits infantry in there, knocks it out, hits this infantry in there, puts some rounds into him. Battlecopter, tank, and commit space skip. Try and flip a column tower now. Tank hits tank. Tank backs off the city there. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and infantry. Lash's unit here can be interrupted, but it will not. So Lash will have 3 column towers next turn, which is going to be probably game changing. Lash does have Battlecopter here. No real counter in this region to it, or any counter. And that's infantry, not an anti-air. Actually, not in a whole lot of Gone for Rider tank here. Does interrupt to capture the Battlecopter. Pulling the infantry unit off with the anti-air strikes, the Battlecopter would be very good. There's a tank there. When the infantry units are trying to cause some movement issues. Hit another Battlecopter here. Almost enough for our prime tactics. Tank infantry. Another side slip activated there. 16,000 funds in the bank, so we could go for medium tank this turn and commit base skip. I'm gonna capture the column tower, but it's 7 health, so it'll take 2 more turns to capture it. Battlecopter slowly went down there. Oh, we got full prime tactics now deployed in the field. Tank. It takes out the Battlecopter. Has extra defense stars now, but it's also not very healthy. Pops the power immediately upon getting the power charge. It's the capturing squad there, but thanks to her double defense, able to withstand quite a bit of a beating. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. $45 versus $48 for day-to-day funds, which is actually not very high after all the repairs. It is slightly ahead, but nothing too significant. This map is very low income, so this whole difference is actually probably a bit more important. 19 turns out to capture the property. I believe in you. Goes for anti-air and commits base skip. I should mention as well, live league times, 19-12 minutes. This map is so small that you probably don't have to think as much, if that puts it poorly. In short, the countdown timer may not be important in this map. As low income, so we have a lot less units to think about. Tank infantry does block that tank there, though the Battlecopter can still strafe it, but will be knocked out by anti-air. Interrupts this capture over here. Pops another side slip, allowing him to range his infantry unit there, and save the Battlecopter from being hit by the anti-air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A terrain tactics may be in order to take out the Battlecopter. There is an argument for our terrain tactics this turn. Or just pick off the infantry unit there. That works as well. There's no argument for our terrain tactics this turn. Merge there, tank infantry, and pulls back some units. Still got this city here despicably neutral. And since the airport on both corners, 2 airports, 2 bases, you can pull out Battlecopters immediately to the other flank. Good bullets of tanks in the center of the map here. Tank infantry. 49,000 versus 34. Valley to solo, I'm just not used to this. And Adder does flip a comm tower, giving him a lot of extra firepower. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Anti-air makes its way over here. Interrupts capture. Fully stops capture. Captures up city. Hits infantry. Powers available. Terrain tactics almost available. Battlecopter tank infantry. Lash needs to start eyeing for these comm powers, but there's a good number of tanks in this region, so the battlecopter would be very nice for that. Interrupts capture. Terrain tactics not available. Get some good hits on those tanks. Battlecopter pulls back. Does not take out one health tank. Tank, infantry, tank. 22, 15 minutes, so both players are counting up their timers. We do now have another terrain tactics. Or prime tactics. Does get a boosted strike there. Boosted strike there. Anti-air takes out a unit there. Does go into the comm tower. It does have 6 defense stars. So the infantry units can interrupt, but won't be pretty. It's the anti-air. Yeah. Look at that. That was what would be, you would imagine that would be a common outcome for 2 full health units to take out on, but it's in reverse healths. Does get a shot there on the battlecopter, greatly knocking out. Extra defense stars did come in handy, but does get reduced with, well, just it gets reduced. Boost strike there, strike there. Let's get around the tank. Tank. 59,000 versus 36, so Lash has a superior number of force in the field. The comm tower is quite significant. Tank, battlecopter, and commits base skip. Takes out that unit there, takes out that unit there. Trying to flip this city there. 10 capture progress remaining. It will be interrupted next turn. Tank hits tank. We do now have a side slip available. Battlecopter, infantry. Pops a side slip. Battlecopter hits infantry. Hits infantry. Hits tank twice, and thrice, but fails at taking it out. Hits the tank. Don't think it's anything in range of this battlecopter here. Yep, just out of range everything. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Tank hits tank with boosted strike. Battlecopter, infantry. If Adder attacks this battlecopter, you'll be in range of this battlecopter. 52,000 versus 40,000. Hits the battlecopter there. Hits the tank twice and not thrice. Drops that capture there. This is a lab map, or lab map. So capture lab does act as an HQ in this situation. There's only one lab for each side. Forgot to mention that part. 48,000 versus 42, so adders even get out. Tank hits anti-air. Tank hits tank. Hits that infantry twice. Hits that tank. Finish it off. Battlecopter tank. Around that tank there, hits the infantry unit over here. Hits the tank, anti-air, infantry. Tank. Hits the tank there. We do now have a prime tactics available with the side slip activated. Hits the battlecopter, knocking it out. Good shot there in this tanks. Hits the battlecopter there. Finish off that tank there. Tank or battlecopter infantry. Insert 42, lashes 37. Do now the prime tactics now activated there. Tank hits anti-air. Tank hits anti-air, knocking it out. Battlecopter hits tank. Infantry trying to flip the city. Needs to start getting a unit over to the comm towers. This anti-air battlecopter is in range of this battlecopter, so it needs to get a counter to it relatively soon. Maybe anti-air up here. Let's around to the battlecopter for the infantry. Takes out that one there. Tank or battlecopter infantry. Lash has 14,000 funds versus 12,000. Interrupts the... Oh, does not interrupt the capture there. The double defense stars, not to mention a 1 health battlecopter. Wait, how much health did that battlecopter have? It had 2 health. Sorry, I'm just curious. 5 to 6% against 4 health infantry, so it's pretty much guaranteed not to get it, and actually did get a bit of retaliation. Interior does hit infantry in there, put some rounds into it, but only interrupts it by 1 turn. 4 health infantry can merge up to even higher health. City gets captured there. 15,000 income now. Battlecopter does join capture here. 4 capture progress remaining. But the 8 tier nearby and the 9 health infantry. I think this capture can be fully stopped. Oh yeah, the 3 comm towers really increase firepower. Battlecopter even finish it off. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Lash needs an 8 tier over here. Tank mech. Adder does have decent mechs with his side slip and sidewinder. Battlecopter hits a unit there. Capture the comm tower, so either A, take on the battlecopter, or B, lose the comm tower. Battlecopter, infantry. Battlecopter strays infantry unit there, and Adder does resign. This Angrade saying, oh, this map is so small, the window here is actually getting cut off. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight.